Hello and a very warm welcome to OBN Horn of Africa. This is our weekly program, Future Africa, and I'm Fantam Belete hosting this program. In this edition, we will be discussing March and changes in Ethiopia with my special guest, Dr. Faris Delil, President of Wolkite University. Till the end of our program, stay with us. Doctor, nice to meet you and welcome to this program.
Thank you for inviting me.
Great. As I said, we will be discussing changes that have been registered in Ethiopia in March. Before directly going to that, would you tell us a bit about yourself, please?
My name is Faris Delil, the current president of Wolkite University. If you want to something detail about me, before I joining Wolkite University, I was president of Mizantepe University. And before that, I was the founding staff and also vice president of Wollo University. So this is my third university.
Thank you very much. What motivated you to become president of Wolkite University?
Actually, when I completed my first degree, that time government has been expanding higher education in different parts of our country. So in that time, Ministry of Education sponsored me to pursue my postgraduate studies. Then I did my master's. After I did my master's, I joined Wollo University because that time Wollo University was the second generation university and this was at the foundation stage. After that, I served there as a teacher, as a department head at different levels, and in between I did my PhD. After I completed my PhD study, I was invited. After my PhD, I joined Wollo University and I served till the level of vice president. While I was a vice president there, I got an invitation from Mizantepe University. Since a bit is closer to my native place, so I shifted from Wollo University to Mizantepe University. While I was in Mizantepe University, within a couple of days, I joined as a vice president. Within a couple of days, that time the university board assigned me to serve as a president. While I was serving there as a president, there was a call from Wolkite University for vacant president position. So since Wolkite University is very close to the city, to Addis, where my family, my parents reside, I applied for this post. I competed and finally Minister of Education assigned me to be a president right here. So the basic factor might be my proximity to my parents and my family. That is the reason, but I'm grown in the university and I'm serving the university for almost close to 2 decades.
What are the key initiatives being implemented in Wolkite University to ensure quality education?
I should have discussed at the beginning a bit about Wolkite University. Wolkite University is a third generation university established in 2012 in Gregorian calendar. It is established similar to other universities across the country as a comprehensive university. That means a university is having every programs with no focuses. But maybe starting from the reform, the government understood that the quality of education, including in higher education, is much deteriorated. So to shift these things, Ministry of Education had a survey across all universities and started, as part of a reform, started to have a differentiation. University has to be differentiated based on what resources they have, what capabilities they have. With that regard, our university is categorized as University of Applied Sciences. This Applied Science University is a new concept to our country, but it's a bit having a similarity with like a polytechnic college, where graduates have much capability of the skills than knowledge. When we were a comprehensive universities, the graduates are having much knowledge and attitude, but less skill exposure. So when our university is differentiated as a University of Applied Science, then our focus became more skill-based graduates. Since University of Applied Science is a new concept to our country, with the Ministry of Education initiatives, we have tried to see what the University of Applied Science looks like, what their curricula looks like, what is the basic problem of the existing curricula and the basic gaps of our graduates. With that regard, we began to have a full-fledged differentiation. So Right now, our university is trying to have a curricula or a program of University of Applied Science type, and we are also trying to assess which programs are more demanded, which programs are more relevant to our country based on the pre-established focus areas. Because the focus area establishment and differentiation has been studied by the Ministry of Education. When Ministry of Education assessed different universities, our university is mandated to have 4 focus areas. Out of these focus areas, one is engineering and technology, the other is agriculture, the third is business and economics, and finally the fourth one is health, medicine and health sciences. So these are the four our focus areas. So since the programs, the curriculums are the previous ones, now we are in the process of differentiating, in the process of changing from the comprehensive type to the University of Applied Science.
Would you share any recent achievements or milestones registered in Wolkite University?
As I said at the beginning, the quality of education across all sectors, including the primary or general education and the higher education, has deteriorated much. So government Ministry of Education introduced different reforms. Out of that, one is to have a standard evaluation across all country for the graduates. This has been practiced actually for a couple of years for the program, for School of Law programs, but that has not been for all programs. So starting from 2 years back, in our 2015 Ethiopian calendar, the Ministry of Education introduced the exit exam program to all programs in the university. So in the first ever exit exam practiced across the country, our graduates scored maybe the highest, I can say the highest. You might have heard about, I think, from the private sectors, higher education, about 70% only passed, I think. 80 plus students failed. And from all across the nation, the government, the private, the public universities, is around, I think, 62% something passed, I think. In that time, our graduates, from all of the graduates, 79.6% passed the exit exam. That is a great achievement for us. And in the next year, that is last year, in 2016 also, we progressed. In year 2015, it was 79.6%. In the year 2016, 82.6%, I think, of the graduates passed the exit exam. So I can say this one is the current and the marvelous achievement Wolkite University scored recently.
What is your vision for Wolkite University in the future?
When the university differentiated, we had a long-term strategic plan, 10 years plan, 5-year plans. So in our 10-year plan, since we are in the process of differentiation to the University of Applied Sciences, our references are the University of Applied Sciences in the country. So we are envisioned to be the toppest University of Applied Sciences in the country. Right now, there are 15 University of Applied Science in the country. So we are envisioned to be the top University of Applied Science in Ethiopia by the year 2030.
What specific milestones have been registered in Ethiopia in March?
The specific and the very tangible and the historical milestone achievement, in my opinion, is the peaceful transition of power among the leaders. That is the biggest one. Following that, there are many achievements. For example, regarding the political ecosystem, the government widely opened the political space for the multi-party system. That is another big achievement, though we are at the infant stage and we have much work to do to improve it. The first big achievement, big step taken by the leading party is the wide space for the political parties.
How do these milestone achievements contribute to Ethiopia's overall development goals?
when we say Ethiopia, we have to think about the millions, the many peoples. So the first thing is for every aspect, for every angles, from all directions, everybody is responsible for overall achievement of Ethiopia. So everyone has his own, her own stake. So the ecosystem, the space provided for everybody to participate, to have his own, her own share is, I think, the founding space for the overall achievement. So as I said before, the multi-party system, the political wide space, the multi-party ecosystem makes a big difference. That is one thing that government has created for progress of our country from different sectors. I talk about the political party, the political system, but in addition to that, if we consider the economic system, with the gradual change to the private sector involvement, the government has had shifted the economic sector to be the homegrown type. When we say a homegrown type, we have to consider different economic sectors in addition to the pre-existing and the dominant, the agricultural sector. With these different economic sectors like the tourism, the mining, the ICT, the manufacturing sector, all these sectors with involvement of the government and also the private sector, the government has shifted a policy to be participatory and private sector also oriented.
How did local communities participate in or benefit from these milestones?
Actually, any activity that takes place in the community, the primary beneficiaries are the communities, right? Be it education, be it economic sectors, be it a social sector, the immediate beneficiaries are the community. For example, as a university, for example, we involve in community engagements. Especially we involve in key areas. Once again, I will be talking about education. To improve education is not only the physical structure, you have to improve it. You have to improve also the manpower, the teachers' capacity. So with that regard, out of many problems, why the education quality deteriorated, the teachers' capacity is also the primary factor, maybe. I can say the primary factor, because when there was no such facilities in the long back also, there was education, right? There were smart students were there. So the teachers' capacity is the primary factor. So together with the Ministry of Education and together with the Regional Education Bureau, our university is also involving in staffs or teachers' capacity building. That's one sector. The other one is the university being right here, the immediate community has to get benefited, right? So you might be aware, unset, or where kocho is processed, is the staple food to this community, the Gurage area, and many parts of the previous southern region, the existing central Ethiopia region, south region, southwest region, and also Hawassa, many, the former, the bigger south region. So to improve the productivity of kocho from insect, we are doing a research on insect, because insect has been affected by diseases particular to insect. So we are doing a research to mitigate this challenge. The other one is, even if we like to eat kocho with katfo, the processing method of kocho is very cumbersome, very tiring for ladies. So, and it's a traditional way. So in order to improve the traditional processing method, our university staffs, our researchers, we are trying to improve the processing method to be the modern one. So right now we have produced some 4 prototypes, and we gave to SMEs. So now we are anticipating that the processing method will be the modern one. Just I'm mentioning some milestone achievement. The other thing is, even if not known to the public and at commercial level, in the Gurage area, there is very good quality coffee, but it's not named as a Gurage coffee. So we are trying to have a brand coffee of this area. So for that, we are doing also, our staffs are doing research, and we are also trying to increase the productivity of this crop by providing the seedlings from best sources to the farmers. So from social, from economic, and from different parties, we are participating to engage the community. Maybe I should mention also regarding the health. Though our university is a young university of only 13 years, we have our own teaching hospital. This teaching hospital began by Gurage Development in Culture Association. They began it some 15 and 20 years back, but that time they were not able to complete it. So the university took over that project. We completed that project, and right now it is serving as one of the health service sector for this, not only for the Gurage zone, it's also serving to the neighboring Oromia areas, Yam zone, and even Hadiya zone also. So it's almost around the university, we are having around 5 million catchments. For this catchment, we are serving the community by providing health services and also teaching postgraduate studies there also, resident programs. We have a pediatric program, in addition to actually the undergraduate programs. We have a medicine program, we have other health programs, anesthesia, public health, nursing, midwifery, medical laboratory. So all these graduates are practicing in that hospital, and we are also serving the community through the health service delivery. Plus to that, we are also giving trainings and awareness creations for the community. So we are serving from the social aspect, from economic aspect, and also maybe partly the political aspect through awareness creation.
What challenges did Ethiopia face while pursuing these achievements in March?
We are unlucky, though the reform was very marvelous and very hopeful. I'm also still hopeful. We faced lots of challenges. The first challenge is our community's readiness to take part his or her own parts. For instance, when the political space was very wide, instead of having a peaceful and harmonious discussion and dialogue, in some parties there was conflict were there, the forceful interactions were there. That costed us a lot in terms of lives, in terms of damage, in terms of also economic losses. So that is one challenge. We should have handled it very carefully. When you are holding an egg, you have to take care, right? You should not just simply lose it to the space. So that is one challenge we faced. The other challenge is the backlogs, the previous existing backlogs, especially instead of having a uniting Ethiopian uniting attitudes, we focused on those splitting and divisive attitudes. So that has been accumulating for years actually. So that was also another challenge. The other challenge is the external challenge, like for instance, if we take COVID, COVID is not only for us, even for the developed countries, including the US. That created a big challenge. The other is all the political shifts globally, like the shift from unipolar to multipolar shift that also created a challenge. The other thing is maybe because of the expected achievements like the good we can take, there are some stakeholders, some neighbors that are not interested to have such achievement. That also created a big challenge, not only from the external, also that through proxy they have also some different actors inside. So that created also another challenge. The other challenge is the climate change by itself. We suffered some droughts. We remember recently. So, but the government has taken action, at least to save lives. But that drought has also created a big challenge. The other thing is a resistance for the change, the reform by itself. We remember recent war in the northern parts. That was also the big challenge. But all these challenges, government handled it wisely. The people also, most people participated to mitigate the challenge. So still we are not only existing, but we are growing, we are progressing, and we are also much hopeful.
Were there any international partnerships or collaborations involved in these achievements?
For instance, with regard to our foreign policy, we are giving priority to our neighbors. We are giving priority for peaceful interaction. So even if there are interests from here and there, the government is handling it very wisely. So in the past maybe 6-7 years, we have no war to any neighboring country. Rather, no war, no conflict. We have internal problems, we have internal conflict, we have challenges, we are trying to mitigate it, but we have no war to any neighboring country. We know that. So that came through, I think, a dialogue. That came through diplomatic achievements. If you take, for example, the GERD, different people, different leaders has been saying that you should stop it. You should listen to your neighbor. You should look for other alternative energy sources. But we were defending that this is our legitimate right. We are doing for generating electricity. We are not harming the neighbors. Rather, even will be our neighbors will be also benefiting from the GERD. So we are being discussing, making a dialogue. So I think we got a big achievement, right? Even in addition to that, not only the GERD being a huge country, we need also access to the sea. That we initiated recently, this agenda. Even this agenda is getting also attention to by different leaders, different countries. We are getting a support. The only thing is we have to do it peacefully. So not only creating a peaceful environment to us, even we were mediating the neighboring countries to solve their problems peacefully. For instance, recently a conflict took place in Sudan. We are mitigating them to solve their problems peacefully. So we are getting, I think, big achievements through diplomacy. So even when we raised access to the sea, interest came from different areas. Right now, Kenya wants to talk with us, to have access to provide us access for us. Somalia changes their attitude also. They are also discussing with us to have maybe a peaceful solution. Djibouti also, still actually Djibouti is our partner. And also recently we heard something from Eritrea also. Eritrea also, they are saying, as long as you are raising in a peaceful manner, we are open to discuss. They are also showing an interest. I don't know whether this will exist or not, it will be sustainable or not, I'm not sure. But through the peaceful means, we are able to maybe reserve our national priority and national interests.
You're also a member of House of People's Representative. How are you planning to serve better your country?
Right. The past couple of years, we faced a lot of challenges. I personally feel that the challenges are now right now reducing, and the progresses, the efforts made are now starting to bear fruits. So when your effort starts to bear fruit, the people recognize you and stands with side with you. So I'm hoping that the future will be much brighter. But with what? With efforts. Still, you have to work hard. We have a huge potential. We have a challenge. So we have to solve our challenge, especially regarding the peace. We have to have a peaceful dialogue. After the dialogue, we have to abide by the results. We have to be part of the solution. If there are concessional or these understandable changes in different things, like for example, if we have to amend part of the constitution, we have to amend it. If we have to change something, we have to change it with concession of all the people, with participation of the people. Once we do all these things, and once we change all these things, and once our efforts starts bear a fruit, our future will be much brighter. But still, to realize what we are aspiring, what Ethiopia should be, still we have to work hard and hard and hard.
Doctor, if you have any final remark you would like to make, please do.
Great. The first thing what we have to keep on from our Prime Minister initiative or the government reform initiative is we began participating different stakeholders to our political, economic and social developments. So still we have to keep that motive. And actually the motive and the interest from one side cannot bear fruit. It has to be both sides. So other stakeholders also, they have to use the chances, they have to be humble, they have to be foresighted, so that the political wide space, they have to use it, because each stakeholder, all participants have their own role and their own also impact, and so that has to be kept. But for that we have to be dedicated, even if there are challenges, even if there are some failures in some parts, still we have to fix the problem and keep our motive from the political angle. From the economic angle, even if there are many challenges, still we are trying to have a good quality, a sustainable and deep-rooted economic reform. That is still having a challenge, but the challenge, I feel that it will be of a temporary one. If we bear the challenge for temporary periods, if we bear this challenge in the future, we ourselves and the next generation will have a better quality life. So for that, we have to bear. For example, if we take a corridor development, if we go to now the cities, we are not ashamed of our cities. We are not ashamed of our towns. Now we are proud to be the headquarters of AU, right? So, but that's having some challenge. When we are doing something, it creates a problem to some parts. So, but that creates a problem to some parts, so that is a temporary one. So if we bear the challenge, the future will be brighter. So we as a people, we have to focus more from the positive parts, what we achieved, even because everything has its own side effect. Nothing can be achieved without side effect. Yes, it's having. If you take to cure something, you will create another problem, right? So we should not give hand to the side effects. We have to bear the problem, because we have to think of the bigger Ethiopia. We have to think of the future generation. So as a today's citizen, as the bearer of the backlogs, we have to bear the challenge. We have to think for the future generation.
President of Wolkite University, I really thank you for your precious time and wonderful analysis.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you also.
Dear viewers, you have been watching OBN Horn of Africa, our weekly program Future Africa. Thank you for watching this program and stay connected with other programs of OBN Horn of Africa.